Good morning. I would like to discuss a game I just played against Gadylbek, or however you spell that name. It's 2:30 in the morning, and I just can't sleep because there is a construction work in front of the house, and they're sort of changing all the valves and mains and fittings for the water pipes. So it's better to play games, and I actually play. And this is an interesting game because it sort of shows um, where a good development can lead you to an unstoppable attack. And let's just have a look. As usual, it's a bit boring. I know if you watch my videos, it's bird opening, which is f4, and I like the ideas of exposing the king in the beginning like this because it's just in the beginning basically. And black replied with e6, and all of a sudden the threat is clear here, which is queen will go to the square h4 and make a check, and I don't want that to happen, so I just move my knight to f3. So this move, queen goes to h4, can be avoided because mine will take. So what happened was knight goes to c6, and then I move e3 just to free the bishop away. Bishop at f1, my white square bishop. Black move bishop goes to e7 here, which is annoying for me. Do you know why it is annoying? Because there is an imminent threat of moving the bishop to h4, and if it's going to check me, I'm going to ruin the pawn structure. Because if I, for example, I move this, and then, for example, if black did this, it's a check. I have to take, and queen will take, and I don't like this position. It's ruining my pawn structure, so I don't want that to happen, and hopefully I pray that doesn't happen. And of course, um, didn't happen anyway. So what happened was, sorry, what was happening? So I moved that, and that happened. I moved my bishop to e2, and then h6 was moved. It is a weird move, I suppose, to move the h pawn. I know the purpose is to avoid this move, which quite so much attacking, but no, I won't attack straight away actually. Wait, I will do it later on. So I can do castle now, and it's pretty safe. That's the bird opening defense being developed and done. Knight goes to f6, c4, a6. Knight goes to c3. Now knight goes to a7. It's very weird in my opinion. I'm not sure what the idea is. Probably going to move c5 probably, but yeah, it's supposed to be done in the beginning, so you don't have to take tempo of you, which is moving the knight back and forth. But it's a weird move. I rarely see this. b3 to the idea is to fianchetto the bishop to b2 in case black is castling kingside. So c6 was moved here. It's weird. So what I meant with fianchetto is moving this. Yeah, this bishop to b2. So yeah, c6 was moved by black. It's a bit weird, and I think it's hindering the development. Maybe the idea is to challenge the pawn at c4 by moving b5 later on. But yeah, come on, it's just still too far away, and the knight is so isolated there. At a7, it's just not natural. So bishop goes to b2, and the idea is actually to, yeah, to attack the king if it's castle kingside. Now queen goes to b6. It is an interesting move because it is actually pinning the pawn at e3, I suppose. So I have to be careful in moving in protecting the pawn at f4 at the moment, because the queen is actually pinning the pawn at e3. So later on in the development, I have to be more careful. Just making a mental note on this. Queen goes to c2 here, trying to do a fancy move, which is attacking king side of black. Knight goes to h5. Now this is a threat. Can you believe it or not? The threat is actually to take the pawn at f4. And to avoid this, I move my knight to d4. For example, I can ignore that threat and I move somewhere else. For example, I don't know, do something like this probably. And simply the knight, no. For example, I move something like, I don't know, like this for example. Then the knight can take. So that's the pin, and I cannot take back because this pawn is pinned by the queen. My king is actually there, this pawn is there, and in that diagonal there is black's queen at b6 eyeing my king at g1. So it's actually very dangerous. Instead, I just move my knight there, trying to sort of decoy and break the pin, that sort of thing. According to the engine, it's a mistake. It's not a good move. But who cares? I mean, now bishop goes to c5 here. I think it's a bad move because it's gonna lose the bishop by simply moving this knight to a4, and then all of a sudden there's a fork between the queen and the bishop, and the queen has to move. When the queen move, it has only one move, which is this one to protect the bishop, and it's not good because I simply just I can do a lot of weird things. For example, I can take this one. Oh yeah, by the way, when I move this knight, it's actually releasing it's making a discovered attack at the same time. So when I move this knight here, actually the knight at h5 is actually being attacked. So it's not just a move to release the pin. At the same time, it's a good developing move to attack the knight. And when the bishop goes to this place, I attack the queen. Queen runs away. So which one should I take first? According to the engine, it's the knight, that I simply take the bishop first, because it's gonna annoy the hell out of black. Just losing that piece that he's trying to use to attack, or she is trying to attack. D6 was move. It's not the best move at all. Simply run away. Oh, sorry, I just winning material. I just take pawn there. E6, and here F takes E6, which is a terrible move. Simply take the knight at H5, and it is check. And from here it's actually all over. I mean, a simple two wrong move in a row, and then now king moves there. Of course, the F file is a semi-open file at the moment, and it's actually just right in front of my rook. So it's not a good idea, I suppose. Simply, the engine says that checkmate is now cannot be avoided. The king should have run away to this this square here, but that didn't happen in the game. So king run there, move my queen there, and there is a threat of checkmate in one by moving my queen to f7. Queen has to defend, and I want to open the dark square diagonal, main diagonal, by moving my knight. And at the same time I want to annoy the queen as well. So what to do? I simply probably just move my pawn to f5, and from here is actually almost all over. Pawn goes to e5. I ignore this threat, just keep marching forward, go to f6, and it's a threat, it's a big threat to the queen, to the pawn at g7 as well, and the queen run away. Actually it's already a checkmate in one, so it could be done like that, but I just want to play around. So move my knight there, bishop takes, and pawn takes. It's a double check, it has to move. He moved to g8, queen check, king took, and then actually it's already checkmate. If I move here it's checkmate, but I still want to play around. Of my rook there, and queen has to take, but here black already resigned because if queen takes anyway it's a checkmate. So that's the end of the game. I hope you enjoy it, and probably the lesson I can take from this game is actually before you sort of attack, you have to develop. If you have time, you have to develop, because a good development is definitely not a wasting move, but it's a good preparation to bombard or ambush your enemy if they are not prepared for it. For example, like this wrong move, because of a good development that I already have here, this wrong move can be punished easily by moving my knight to so this is an attack by black. Basically it wants to utilize the pin at this pawn of e3, and I have developed here. The queen wants to utilize this. I simply move my knight there to actually attack the 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 knight at h5, and at the same time it's breaking the pin of this pawn at e3. And then when black tries to keep attacking, I don't want to lose, I simply counterattack by moving my knight there. It's good basically to be able to do that, and then all of a sudden black is losing a piece, two pieces. Yeah, have to choose, so just a piece. So yeah, doing attack there, black forgot about the knight. I just utilized the knight to attack, and winning two pawns already. Sorry, winning a pawn and a minor piece already. Black did the wrong move again, and then winning another minor pieces. So winning two minor pieces, and then from here just a wrong move again and again by black, and it's all about the punishment. So actually it's easy because I already have my piece. My piece is coordinated. I have my knight there, my bishop there, ready to attack. My bishop here, my queen there, already castled, and it's all going there to prepared for the attack. And my pawn here is still very strong. So yeah, it's not that difficult if you already plan for it. So thanks for watching. And then all of this just seems too easy at the end because it's already coordinated. I hope you enjoy this and see you next time.